Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back. Today I'm working on number 28 in my Using Up Your 12-inch paper series. You would have seen a little snapshot at the beginning of the video of what we're going to make. So you will just need one sheet of 12-inch paper of your choice. It doesn't matter. It can be single-sided if you like, because you're going to lose a lot of the other side, except we will be folding some pieces over. You'll need your trimmer and a scoreboard or something so that it makes it easier for you to score on your paper. So I'm using some Tim Holtz card. It's not too heavy and it's not too light. It's really nice and folds really nicely. So we may as well get into it, I suppose. So what we need to do is we need to first cut our sheet 8.5 inches from the bottom, or from the top, whichever. So we want, if your paper's directional, you want to keep your 12-inch piece going left to right, and we're going to tip it and we're going to cut 8.5 inches. So I'm going to do this way, and then the piece that we've got left, we'll keep that and we'll make some tags for in this little pocket. I don't even know what to call it. A pocket tablet, maybe? All right, so we've cut our piece at 8.5 inches. So we've got 8.5 inches by 12, and then we've got this piece here, which is 3.5 inches by 12, and we're going to use that for tags. So we'll just pop that to the side for the moment. Okay, now from the right hand side, we're going to start scoring. So I've just got this scoreboard here, and we are going to score three-quarters of an inch from the right hand side. So three quarters of an inch, and then 5 5/8. 5 5/8. Oops. Going very crooked there. I think I'm on the fold, so I'm just going to move that over. So 5 5/8. So 3/4 of an inch, 5 5/8, and then we're going to go 10 1/2. 10 1/2. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to tip it to the right, and we're going to score at 1 inch. 1 inch all the way through, and 2.5 inches. Okay, so just put that to the side. So this is what we've got. So what we need to do now is we're just going to cut away this little scored piece here and this scored piece here. Okay, so we're going to cut that on the score lines. I might use my little scissors actually. And we're just going to cut that away. Like so. Like that. And then the same on this corner here as well. So essentially what we've got is we've got so this is like a gusset that will be folded on the inside here, just to give us a little bit more room to add our tags in once we've glued it. And then this we will add to the edge of our page, so it's a flip. But this can also be used just as a little pocket tuck on your page. I'll show you when it's all done anyway. So obviously, to make this all work, we need to also cut down here. So what I'm going to do is now this is just me, you can just eyeball it if you want to. I am actually going to measure so that it's symmetrical. I'm going to measure. So here what I want to do is I want to cut on an angle into this point. So I've got this upside down now. Okay, so we're going to cut from the top into this intersection here where we've got scoring, and from here. Okay, but I want this also to be cut the same, if that makes sense. So I'm going to measure, like I don't want it like a big splice, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my ruler up against the edge, and I don't know how well you're able to see this, and I need a pencil. So I've just got my ruler up against the edge of the top here, and I'm just measuring in 1/4 of an inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from that 1/4 of an inch to that point. Now we've got our fold line here, which we're going to end up cutting. So we're going to cut it on an angle. So I want to also measure so that it is symmetrical. So I'm putting my ruler on the fold line here, and from there I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch to the left and 1/4 of an inch to the right. And then we're going to come to this end here, and then we're going to measure 1/4 of an inch in. All right, now, so what we'll do is we'll do these center markings first. So remember, your sheet's upside down, and we're going to cut from this point into that point, and from this point into that point. So we'll get a V, okay? I'll try and hold it up so that you can see. Okay. And it's, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just so long as it's, you know, not too far out of whack. Just trying to do this the best so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going from that pencil point. I do need my longer scissors. From that pencil point, and I'm going to take it down. So if you've got longer blade scissors, take it down to that intersection there, so you can see that. And then you're going to do the same on this side. Take away that V. So see, you've got that, and we're going to go from that 1/4 of an inch pencil mark right into that corner and take that little slither away. And we're going to do exactly the same on this end. So the 1/4 of an inch mark down to there. So that's what you've got. Now, we also want to just cut, because we're going to fold this in and glue, we also want to cut just a little snippet off this piece here that we're going to use as a gusseted piece inside the pocket. All right, so we've got that. And this piece we're just going to leave. We're not going to do it on an angle. We can if need be. But I think if we're going to use it as just a little tuck inside on a page, we're just better off leaving it square. Now, at this point, just fold all your folds just so that they're all nice and crisp. So we're going to be folding these flaps down like this. Okay, so we're going to end up with a pocket, a little flap thing here. I don't even know what to call this. This is just something that I thought of. I haven't seen this done. It may have been done. I don't know. I woke up one night, as I always do when I have ideas, and I was thinking about my 12-inch paper series and different things that I could do, and I came up with this. So if someone has done it and I haven't seen it, please, or similar, let me know. But yeah, I haven't seen this done before, so I just thought I will do it and share it with you. Okay, so this is what you're sort of going to have to start with, right? Now, what I would do is I would go and ink all of these, and I actually want to sew mine. So I'm going to go around and sew all this before I glue everything down, just so that I have that stitched look. That's what I like to do. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So I'll come back once I've inked and sewn around. Righty, so I've sewn around all of that. Now, this is going to be my flap for my flip. And then I'm just going to glue down when I put it to the page on two sides, okay? As I said before, you don't have to sew. I just like that look, and I leave my threads. That's just what I like to do. So at this point, you can glue here and here down, and here and here down on both of these. Now, I want to leave this as a little pocket just for cute little tags. I'll just quickly grab to these just to give you an idea. So this will be a little pocket here, so we can put little tickets or what have you there, and then you'll have a pocket when this is all folded up for tags, etc. Okay, so that was my thought process behind this. But what I want to do now is I want to actually make this a scrappy tablet, and I'm going to do it on both sides, only because I like to do journaling myself. But I'm also going to do it so that if you don't like journaling, you can, you know, tear the papers out, use them for notes, but you can then replace the papers down the track. All right, so we're going to do that first before we close up the pocket, because we're going to actually go through all of these layers. Okay, so we're going to punch the hole first. But what we probably need to do is work out some papers that we want to do for our tablets. Now, I've just grabbed in my scrap bin here just a heap of different coffee dyed papers, and there's happens to be some book pages in there. So we basically want papers wide enough that are going to be caught. No, we don't. Sorry, I'm thinking here. I haven't done a prototype of this, so this is just something that I've drawn out and done measurements, so just bear with me. Okay, so we want it to be probably a bit wider than, we want it to be about, the papers to be about just, let me measure. Where's my ruler? So if we make the papers about 4.5 inches wide, so we want them about 4.5 inches wide so that we can make it so that they're replaceable if you want to. If you're happy to leave them in there, you can make them just enough so that they get caught in the eyelets that we're going to put in. But let's just say we'll cut them at 4.5 inches wide. All right, so they can be all different lengths. So I'm going to go and cut some papers 4.5 inches wide, and you'll need them if you're going to make them. I'm going to make them to go up pretty much up to the top here. We'll make them 4.5 by 5.5. All right, go and cut some blank papers 4.5 by 5.5, and then we'll get into putting them together. Okie doke, so I've cut my pieces 4.5 wide, and the longest piece is 5.5 long, and I have got some shorter pieces. So I've cut some ledger as well, some old ledger. So I'm just going to put them into two piles without thinking about it too much. 3. So you can see these are 4.5 wide, but they're just the ends off some scraps. I've got a real grungy piece here. And we can tip these over. You can have whichever side you want. So there. Okay, so we're going to use those in our little tablet. Now I'm just going to rearrange them so that we have like a nice selection of different papers showing. Actually, I like that one. So I'm going to put that one at the front, like that. So we just want to make sure that they are all up the top, and I'm just going to put a little clip on them just to hold them in place while I put the other one together. And I might even just do it very similar. I'll have this one at the top, and we're just going to just do very random, and we just want them all shaken to the top as well. So this real grungy piece is going to cause me a bit of havoc just because of all the creases and everything. That's okay. And I'll put a bit of a clip on that one as well. So we have 2 tablets that are going to sit in there as well. And as I said, I'm going to do mine so that you can actually replace the papers if you want to. I'm going to be using mine for hidden, well, not hidden journaling. Some of the journaling here will be hidden, but just for journaling purposes. Okay. So what we need is, this is just going to be a little bit fiddly because we want to try and get these papers in place. We're going to line these papers up within this side, and we're going to fold this down. So it's a shame to lose that beautiful, this piece here, so I'm going to put it upside down. But we want to put it up in the top of that, just so that we can, when we put these eyelet holes in, we actually get that paper. So I'm going to use the larger hole in my crocodile, which is 3/16 of an inch. And we're just going to come in here, and because we've got the paper up here, we can put our eyelets up in the top corners like so. Okay, so do that on both ends. Okay, reclip your tablet, and then we're going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the flap out, and I'm going to put an eyelet in. Folded all my other flap there. I'm going to put an eyelet in here. This is the inside of our pocket. I'm going to set that. So make sure your flap is folded out. If you're happy to put it in so that it's in there as a complete piece and you won't be taking it out and replace it, you can actually put your eyelets all the way through here, but you would need to put your papers in underneath as well. I hope that makes sense. But because I'm going to do it and show you how you can replace your papers, we'll do it that way. Oops, I've got that, haven't set that properly. All right, so we've just made a little pocket here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some eyelets this way. Now the main reason I'm doing it this way is just so that, you know how sometimes some of the eyelets have a little bit of a jagged edge, just so that when we're putting items in and out of our pockets, they don't get caught. And that it also protects that pocket if you are going to replace your papers at any stage. Now, I don't know whether I can get this down in there. It's not going to let me do it, is it? Okay, well that's not going to work. If you've got one of those big bites, because that's too far in and these flaps are impeding me being able to get into that eyelet, we're not going to worry about that. So I don't think these will get torn. So we'll just do the flaps with eyelets at this point. Okay, so that's the left. Now we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to line our papers up within this rectangle here, and we are going to, once again, punch a hole in each corner, holding those papers in place like that, and then we'll just clip this so we know that that's our left side and that's our right side. And then I'm going to set 2 eyelets here and here. Now if you want to, you can just even staple here and here, here and here with your papers in there, and then just put a bit of washi tape or something over over the top, just to protect whatever's going in and out. So remember, we're going to open up our flap, set those eyelets, okay, so crumpled all that. We have, this is what it looks if you tip it upside down. This is what it looks like. Okay, so we've got a pocket there and a pocket on each side. Now I've left these open, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some baker's twine. Baker's twine, or whatever it is that you want to use. I want something relatively soft. Might use this red, I think. Oh, I was looking for my Velcro the other day and found it just in there now. So basically what you want to do is we're going to come in from the inside, what is going to be the inside of your pocket, and we're going to bring a length of thread. So I'm just going to roughly cut what I think I need at this point. Okay, and then I'm going to, with the clip on, just so that I can get it through all sheets of paper, I'm going to thread that through that hole. And then I'm going to bring this around and do the same in the other hole. And through all those papers as well. So you've got something like that. At this point you can take your clip off, and then we're going to put it through the eyelet on the top. Like that, and then we're just going to pull it taut, so we want it fairly taut on the back, and then we're just going to basically tie a bow or a knot, whatever it is that you want to do. So this can be undone, and then even though the pocket's going to be closed, just keep your threads, try not to lose your threads through, because it's just going to make it a little bit easier to, so you don't have to sort of try and get your hand in the pocket to re-thread if you do want to replace your papers. We're just going to tie that off in the middle, pretty much. I'm going to tie that in a knot. Once again, I'm not going to replace my papers, but I just wanted to show you the option if you wanted to. Not way too much baker's twine, but that's okay. And tie it off in a bow. And and just cut your excess off. Okay, how cute's that? So you've got a tablet here. So I'm just going to do exactly the same for the other side. I like to cut excess because it makes it easier to thread things and tie a bow rather than leave yourself short. So I'm just going to thread both of those through from the inside. I'm going to grab my next lot of papers. I'm just going to leave them clipped just because, once again, it just makes it easier to thread through. You don't have to do each piece of paper individually. Okay, unclip it, and then we're going to go through there again and through here. Once again, pull it taut and tie it off. So there's so many variations of this that you can do. I just love it. I'm working on some Tim Holtz journals at the moment, so I just love it in the vintage style, but it'd be really nice in some really pretty paper as well. I haven't tied that off tight enough, so I'm just going to tie that in a knot. My fingers don't want to work today. I can tell the weather's starting to get a bit cooler. My arthritis in my fingers is playing up, making it difficult to grab things. All right. So that looks really, I like it with the that vintage ledger on there as well. Alrighty, so now we're going to tip it over, and I'm going to actually just add some washi tape to here, because when we have the pocket, everything's going to get caught up in this baker's twine. I'm not going to put it all the way over the holes. You could if you wanted to. Actually, I think I will, to be honest, because that's going to protect the hole. And if you're going to replace your papers, it'll keep the thread in place for you then when you're going to replace the papers. So I think that's a good idea. I'm going to add some washi tape, but I need to find some. What have I done with it? Bear with me, I'll get some washi tape. Alrighty, I just got this piece here. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm also going to add just a little bit of glue stick. It is quite sticky, but just so it stays in place, I'm going to add a bit of glue stick on this as well. And I'm just going to glue it over top. Okay, so I've got it a little bit long there. Okay. Just glue that down really well. So anything that goes into this pocket's not going to get caught up in that baker's twine, and that's all secured now. So when you undo this to replace your papers, the threads, whatever you put in here, string, etc., will stay in place. Okay, so I'll cut this piece off as well and glue it down. Got washi tape all over me now. Just burnish that down well. Okay, next step. So we've got that. This is our gusset that we're going to fold in, and we're going to glue this into a pocket. So basically what we want to do is we want to just glue this down and here, and we're going to fold that over and seal that up. So I'll do that with my art glitter glue. Just try not to get too much on this inner edge here so that it seals the whole, like this whole 3/4 of an inch side. It goes into here is what I'm trying to say. I can't get my words out today. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so we're going to just fold that over just neatly like that. Okay, we will just burnish that as well, just hold it in place until the glue grabs. You can clip it if you want to, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'll do that after the video. Okay. Now we've got, yeah, so I'm going to need a little bit more glue in there. I either have too much glue or not enough. I never know how to get that balance. Okay, so you can see we've got a top pocket here. And this is where, and nothing gets caught on this string at the back. So this is where our two pieces, or well, one piece, which we will cut down to two pieces, and we can use this as tags to go inside. I'm actually just going to clip that for a second. So we want to cut this in half. I'm not going to decorate the tags today. You can decorate them as you wish, because I just don't know what I want to put on my tags. So I'm cutting this at 6 inches because it's 12 inches wide. So it's 6 by 3.5. We have two 6 by 3.5 tags that can go in that pocket there. Okay, so I'm going to just pop that in there. I've got the thread all caught in it, just to give you an idea. So they just sit out the top. Okay, and then we have a beautiful little flip. Now I'm going to just grab a journal, one of the journals that I'm working on at the moment, and just show you how that's going to work in your journal. All right, so I may even just glue this in. I just want to have a look and see. Actually, I'm not going to glue it in at this point because I need to think about where I don't want it to be too thick in one particular area, but I just wanted to show you. So it fits in like your standard size. What's this, about 6 by 8 3/4 or 9? Actually, I don't know. 6 by, yeah, so 6 by 9 journal, 6.5 by 9 journal. Okay, so on a page, this is the piece that will fold over the other side. Now you can put it in the middle. Let's put it in the middle of the page. And you would glue here and here. Okay, so on the other end, on the other side, you would have, I'm so sorry, I'm just, probably need to put it even on a piece of something that's a little bit more sturdy. So let's just say this. Okay, so here we have a little pocket that we can pop, use as a tuck and whatever, and I would decorate that. And then this is the other side. Okay, and then this will flip, so you can journal on there, journal on there, that flips out, and then you've got, in a pocket, you've got some tags or whatever it is that you want to do. But that's your whole 12-inch sheet, apart from a few little bits and pieces. So I love that idea, and my thought with this was that you could put the little cute little tags in there. I love anything small, so I've got this little drawer of all sorts of bits and pieces. So what have we got? So I've got some tags that I have actually stamped with Tim Holtz stamps in here somewhere. But you get the idea. So how cute's that, with some little bits and pieces in there? You don't have to put anything in there, of course, but it certainly gives you that option to do so. And the same with this one. Love it, absolutely love it. Worked out well. I'm so glad it worked out. But I can imagine it in some really pretty journals with some really beautiful paper and some really nice satin seam binding. You can make it your own. And yeah, it's, if you don't want to make it a flip, you can just cut this off, and so you've got a pocket and it just sits in a pocket. I like the idea of a flip, just sort of makes it interactive. And you've got pocket here. So that is number, what did I say? So that is number 28 of using up your 12-inch papers. I'm happy with it. It's not that thick either, which is good. I need to go and add a little bit of glue and just clip that down so that that grabs. Yeah, once you get going, it's easy to put together. I hope you enjoyed that. I've got another few ideas for 12-inch papers, so I'll bring them to you down the track. I've been putting off doing this video because it was all in my head and just on paper, and I hadn't tried it, and I thought just get in there and try it. So I'm glad that it worked out. And just a beautiful way to do some journaling. You could even add a nice photo here and then journal about that person or that event under here. If you didn't want anyone to see it. So all right guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that one, number 28 of using up your 12-inch papers, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. Bye bye.